everybody know who Bud Billiken is. It's the biggest parade in the whole country. And I believe 3/4 of us, if not more, don't even know who Bud Billiken is. We don't even know who we celebrate. This is how Satan will have you. Satan practice in deceit. Satan's practice power, I should say, is in his ability to deceive us. For instance, God say, hey, look, here go my commandments. Thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. Right? Here come man. Man come back and say, hey, here go my laws. Here go my legalities, right? Don't do this, no murdering, no stealing, no this. But they don't call it what God called it. Interesting. They don't call, see, it's the same things they're saying part about it. They're saying we shouldn't be murdering. They're saying we shouldn't be killing. They're saying we shouldn't be stealing. The same way God is, right? But here's what happened, part about it. But here's what they're doing. They'll say, God say that's a sin. God says it's a sin, right? Man will come and say, that's a crime. That's a crime. God say, I'm the king of all kings and the judge of all judges. Man will put on his old funky, dirty robe, get up there and say, I'm the judge. You hear me? God say, throw your mercy on me. Man say, throw your mercy on my court. So what's happening here? What's happening right there? Because you're not careful, right? We're not careful. So here's what happened. We go from being fearful of being sinners and committing sins and transgressing against God's laws. We go from being that and doing that, you understand, to being fearful and mindful of not committing a crime and breaking man's law. I'm going to show you the proof in the pudding with that. Man would jump up in church and confess every kind of sin that they've committed. I don't care what it is. They'll jump up and they'll confess it to everybody, congregation, anybody, everybody that's listening. But I'll be damned if that same man or woman jump up in court and confess their crimes. I don't care how small it is, how many it is. You ain't jumping up in court and confessing the crime, but you'll jump up in church and confess your sins. I know who you're fearful of. You're more afraid of what that man would do to your body as opposed to what God will do to your soul. You got the shame and the glory misplaced. That's the shame and the glory misplaced. People go to school their whole life. I'm talking about all these higher learning institutions. They get all these degrees. They even get the racist Cecil Rhodes Scholar demonstration, right? And yet they don't know a damn, they don't know nothing about themselves. You don't have the knowledge of self, but you got all these degrees. You're just as ignorant as the brother or the sister that ain't never had a day of school a day in their life. Pardon me, let me move. I got a couple of brothers, brothers get on. That's just how brothers do. They be want to get on camera some kind of way, have something to say, but you know how the foolish be, right? Now that's a brother. That's my good brother. My good brother up there, Red, he just did 43 years. That's the brother, if y'all remember, I was just on here with last week, and we was demonstrating. You know, but anyhow, on the body. The man, the Garden of Eden. The plane of soul. It's all right here. It's feminine. It's feminine. You ever thought of it that way? You ever thought about taking care of your mind the way the Most High wanted us to do it? I got to move around a little bit so you guys don't hear all the noise and crap in the background. I live with a house filled with brothers who trying to get up and pull themselves up out their bootstraps. Right? But again, when we don't jealously guard our mind, we'll think that we are true citizens of a country that has us as federal subjects. Right? Let's think about this. We're free. Right? 1865. Free, right? Okay. All right. We free. Then all we need to do then is go according to the same Constitution, the same laws, the same legalities that everybody else has been going through, right? And going by, right? You don't have to go to the drawing board and draw up no new laws and policies for me to follow in order for me to be effective in life. Simply honor what you already got on paper. What you going to create a 13th Amendment for? Did you create a 13th Amendment for the Irish? Did you create a 13th Amendment for any other immigrants? Did you have to pass? Watch this. Did you have to pass a civil rights bill in order for us to vote? When we could have just went according to the same laws that allow you to vote. What are you doing when you go create something new? And remember, that's 13th Amendment is just that, an amendment. Anything that's amendable can be changed. So now, do you accept your freedom because Abraham Lincoln created a document, Emancipation Proclamation? That's not a law. It was a document. But because we don't check and we don't see it, we don't know that every 25 years we need 38 states to say yeah so we can continue voting. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about where that fork-tongued United Snake crap come in at. Because if you gave us the right to vote when Martin Luther King was here, why the hell are we continually going back to Congress every 25 years to have the right to vote? Do you know that when Bush was going out of office, they had to renew? We needed 38 states to allow us to vote, and none of our people would have played a part in the Obama election. But they quietly did that. And while I'm talking about it, quit allowing everybody to talk to you. Quit allowing, especially when it comes to spirituality, especially when it comes to God. You know, it is no marvel that even Satan can transform himself into an angel of light. Let me say that again. And it is no marvel that even Satan can transform himself into an angel of light, says the book of Corinthians. Then we go to the book of Job, and we learn that when the angels came to present themselves before God, they said Satan was in the midst of those angels. Why? Because the devil is an angel too. That's what they're not telling you. The devil is an angel too, bro. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is, Rome, in this sense, can make itself appear to be right. I mean, you could have great intentions, but let me tell you about intentions. Good intentions. How many of my older brothers and sisters know this before I even finish? What do good intentions do, brothers and sisters? Good intentions pave the road to hell. So I don't care about the intentions. We ain't demonstrate. We don't care about the intentions. What we're trying to get to is this. You can't allow anybody and everybody to talk to you, especially in the way of divine knowledge or spirituality. Because what happens is your soul Your soil is wide open. You're telling the brother or sister that's there to teach you to plant these seeds in your soil that I trust you as a divine surgeon of God, that you have clean well, that you voodoo, so to speak. You understand? And that you coming at me with a clean and clear conscience and divine conscience, right? And as my divine surgeon, and as me being your patient and trusting you with my soul laid open bare for you to assist me, I'm trusting you just like any other doctor. I'm trusting that you will go in there and you will assist me and you will fix me, right? And you won't hurt nothing and you won't break nothing and you won't add nothing that wasn't there before you went in there, right? And when you come out, I'll be all the more better. See, this is why it's that serious. It's that intimate, right? It's this intimate. I was telling everybody, whoever listened to me the other day, about intercourse. And you have to be careful about who you have intercourse. This is intercourse right now. I'm having intercourse with any and everybody that is listening to me right now, that has me up to their EAR. You have me up to your EAR, your ear, so that you could hear, HEAR. And anything that comes through your ear for you to hear goes straight to your heart, HEART. Ear, hear, heart. You can't allow anybody to talk to you. They might be a whispering jinn. They might be a snake. They might be a demon, right? And since we know wrong can make itself seem seemingly right, that tells me I got to be on top of my business as a soldier of God. I got to meditate on the word of the Lord all day and all night so that don't no negative crap get in. Because that's how easy it does. I can walk past you whistling the tune and you can pick it up and begin to sing it. Just like that. I call that mental STD, or mentally socially transmitted diseases. It's the fears. It's all the worries and concerns that we took on without having the experience to have those fears and worries and concerns. For instance, I made an example earlier about me. I'm a grown man. I'm scared of a mice. Like, what the hell? Jumping from a mice. I don't even want to kill it. I don't want to feel how I feel when I squish it up under my feet. Yeah. But I ain't squished no mice under my feet to know how that'll feel. I ain't caught no mice and killed it. I don't know why. The reason why I'm running from a mice is simply because I saw my mom and daddy doing it as a kid. And because I saw them do it, mental STD, right? I took it on. I took those fears, those worries and concerns, and it grew with me. And I ain't never had a bad experience with a mice or a rat, but I'm jumping and running away and hollering every time I see them, just like my mom and dad used to do. It took a long time for me to stop spitting on the broom when I sweep my feet with it. Only because they said it was bad luck. I had no proof. I never cross-referenced it. I never researched. And that's what we got to understand today. That's our job. It's not our job to simply go with the flow. Our job is to improve on and better anything and everything that our people did before us. That's our job. That's our responsibility. Our job and responsibility is to come up with a curriculum. We ain't got to no longer complain about this racism in their school. They're not teaching us about us. As I said before, when you give your child, put your child on punishment, whip your child, even if you reward that child because of the A or the F that they got in history, I need you to understand that you have just rewarded or punished that child according to a history that had nothing to do with them. That's crazy. Imagine you beating the skin, and you know how we get the skin beaten off you for getting an F in what is nothing but Caucasian, European, nationalistic history. Whoop my tail for my history. Whoop my tail if I don't eloquently speak the language that we ain't speaking at all. Ours. I'm not supposed to speak this language. I'm not English. I'm not English. This is my accent. I don't speak broken English. Because I'm not English. This is my accent, bro. I'm more concerned and worried about my language that y'all stripped out of our tongues. That's more important to me. As opposed to getting someone else's language right. As opposed to getting someone else's history right. I can get all their stuff right and you'll give me an A in them, but I get an F in us. And that ain't right. That's failing as a people. That's failing as a nation. For the lack of knowledge, my people perish. Because you have disobeyed my laws, you will no longer be a priest to me. I'm paraphrasing. I may be forgetting a little something. But for the most part, this is it. And this is why you got to research. This is why you got to go look to make sure. But the end of that says, because you have forgotten my laws, I will forget your children. I'm going to keep saying that because we keep saying, for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. And just stop. Like that's all that verse. No, my people, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. What's the knowledge that they lack? And the reason why they perish? The laws of God. We're ignorant to the laws of God, the ways of God. You don't know how to read nature. Prophet Muhammad was not called the unlettered or ignorant prophet because he didn't have book knowledge and book sense. He couldn't read divine science no more than you can or I can because we don't know ourselves. We'll call ourselves a God. And all our actions and all our language is evil and devilish. You're not supposed to speak the name of God with foul lips. If you demonstrate God, then I need to see God act. I need to hear God talk. Otherwise, I'm going to say it is no marvel that even Satan can transform himself into an angel of light. Be good to each other. Watch our children. Peace and goodwill. I'm your servant, serving you. Brother Evans here.